Hello fellow fic writers! Kudos for clicking on this video. My name is Cora and I'm here to help you write and post your dream fanfiction. This month, it's my birthday and that means cake, but not just one cake. 2 cakes. In this video, we are going to cover the 2 cakes rule and how it inspires fic writers like us to stop caring so much about being original and do whatever we want, even if it's been done before. We'll also be covering how the 2 cakes rule isn't helpful for everyone and how you can tell the difference. Chapter 1. What is the 2 cakes rule? According to fan lore, the 2 cakes rule asserts that while the artist may judge themselves against the best in the field, the audience is usually glad to see an increased number of offerings. It's often used to encourage writers who want to write popular tropes but are afraid of seeming unoriginal or being compared to better examples. Chapter 2. When is the 2 cakes rule helpful? Now, while this has been hugely encouraging for a lot of fan creators, the 2 cakes rule isn't for everyone or applicable to every circumstance. When someone says they really want to write a done concept but worry about being seen as a copycat, cliche, or a worse version of another writer, 2 cakes is a helpful reminder. Let's illustrate this with an example. So I have this idea for an enemies to lovers coffee shop AU, but there's already a few in my fandom that are really popular and they're really good. It feels like I'll never be able to write anything as good as those. And what if I get people commenting about how my fic is just a cheesy knockoff of those other better fics? But what if those fics left their readers craving more enemies to lovers coffee shop AUs? Your fic would be a godsend. Who cares if it's been done before by better writers? Your version will be unique and scratch that itch those other fics left behind. After all, 2 cakes. I've never thought about it like that before. I guess I'm baking that cake. At the same time, 2 cakes can feel dismissive to anyone earnestly looking for advice to improve their craft. Imagine the following scenario. Lately, I feel like I've been coming up with story ideas that are already really common in my fandom, and I don't know why. I at least want to come up with unique spins on them. How do I think of more original ideas? It's okay if your ideas have been done before. After all, 2 cakes. Okay, but what if writing the same fanfic plot as everyone else doesn't satisfy me? What if I need new and interesting ideas to actually be motivated to finish my stories? Your cake will always be special in its own way. But how do I make it special in its own way? What have you been reading lately, OP? If it's only been other fics within your fandom, that could be why you aren't coming up with anything new. Maybe read some published books or try a new genre. It'll fill your creative well with some new stuff and help you think of fresh twists on popular tropes. Thank you! I'll try that out. Always remember, the 2 cakes rule is not helpful to anyone seeking specific advice on how to improve their craft or broaden their imaginations. It is great for reassuring people who are experiencing unhelpful, unproductive insecurity about their writing. So let's examine why that is. Why should you bake that second cake? Chapter 3. Why you can bake the same cake as someone else. To understand why the 2 cakes rule is such a great thing to keep in mind, put yourself in the mind of a reader. This reader just read their first coffee shop AU and they loved it. They want to read even more coffee shop AUs about their favorite ship, and voila, there's tons of them. They are feasting on cakes. Some of them might be better made than others, but the reader doesn't care as long as there's cake to eat. Now, imagine if everyone in their fandom decided to stop writing coffee shop AUs. That would be like if all your local bakeries decided to discontinue your favourite flavour of cake. We've all experienced chocolate cake. Why would anyone want more of it? Said no baker ever. So if you really, truly want to write the kind of fic that's as common as chocolate cake, why would you let that kind of reasoning stop you? Also, just like no one's chocolate cake will be the same, no one's coffee shop AU will be the same either. The fun of having a favourite trope or premise is that you get to see how other writers and stories execute it differently. That's why I love retellings and novelizations of my favourite video game. They all interpret and adapt the game into prose in different ways. Do I think some are better written than others? Yeah, but there's almost always something each novelization does better than any other. And that's why I think 2 cakes is really useful here. Chapter 4. You don't have to bake the same cake as everyone else. Now, while some people find the idea of 2 cakes really comforting, it can also be disheartening to see your fandom interested in only a handful of ideas, or see that the most popular works in your fandom all seem to follow a formula that looks nothing like your own. There's also the fact that some of us just don't feel creatively fulfilled when we write something we've seen done enough times before. To use myself as an example, while I do love retellings of my favourite video game, I am also disheartened to see that those account for most of the long fics in my corner of the fandom. If I want to see a believable romance develop between my one true pairing, retellings are all that I have. But I crave variety, and that's what compels me to write fanfiction. It's why my longest fanfics are about alternate universes that build my OTP from the ground up within a fresh plot. And when my second cake finally came along, you bet I devour every update and send my compliments to the chef by the essay. So those are my thoughts on the 2 cakes rule. It's a great mantra that a lot of fanfic writers need to hear, but it also doesn't work for everyone all the time. You can share it around as much as you like, but before you quote it to someone in particular, ask yourself if it would be helpful in this specific circumstance. It's okay to follow trends, and it's okay to break away from them. That's why you should always try to figure out which kind of cake someone is trying to bake. And that's the end of the video. Kudos for watching, kudos for liking, and extra kudos if you've subscribed and hit the bell for more dreamy fanfiction tips. I will see you in my next video, but in the meantime, happy fic writing!